Alright, that's enough with the non-spoiler section. You have been warned. Here's spoiler section. You gotta know that when you're telling the story about a guy who shrinks, you embrace the insanity. This is another thing that I always mention on Facebook and Twitter. You don't... If you're telling the story about a superhero with outrageous powers, go the extra mile of insanity. Embrace that insanity. You can make it somewhat realistic, but don't suck the fun out of it. We are telling the story about a guy who shrinks and is able to communicate with ants as his army. Seriously, don't skip over the insanity of it. He commands a legion of ants, for goodness sake. And in so many comedic opportunities to inject with the whole everything's bigger now, like with the Thomas the Tank Engine scene. Oh my gosh, it's even... If any of you have not seen the movie, that Thomas the Tank Engine scene will be even funnier and even more insane when you see the whole scene. But, and yeah, the swearing is a bit much, but it's not annoying. It's not in your face, and it almost sounds natural. And when he fights Falcon, I was wondering, like, when he was going into Avengers, headquarters, like, who is he gonna fight? Who's he gonna fight? Is it gonna be any of the new guys? Is it gonna be Vision? Is it gonna be Scarlet Witch? Is it gonna be a War Machine? Because any one of those guys is gonna kill him. But we needed to give Ant-Man an opponent who he could fight against, but would not be too much for him. Someone who could still put on a good show, and, you know, not be taken down so easily, but, again, somebody that Ant-Man could take on. You know, don't give us the weakest of the weak, which I don't think that's the case with any of the Avengers, but give us a good show. Like, and also give Ant-Man a chance. And the action for that, while it's not that epic, it was still really good. I was just wondering, like, since Falcon is a fully trained soldier here, while Scott Lang is just a cat burglar. A very clever cat burglar. A really clever one, but you're going up against one of the Avengers, and nobody tell Cap that I got beaten by an Ant-Man. It's still there. It's still there. That a Captain America goodness is still there. And, I guess what I would have cut out was the annoying sidekicks. Well, they were helpful. They were really helpful, but I think... Yeah, and also, they were a very diverse group. However, his Latino friend, like, did we really need the stereotypical Latino gangster guy? I'm just saying, he was a little annoying, although he did help. And the whole, I heard from a friend who heard from a friend who works for this guy, is that our new way of trapping people now? There is no way. There is no way, bullshit. And it works twice. It works twice. And the Stan Lee cameo, oh my gosh, that caught me off guard. I was waiting for that. And what else forms of awesomeness in this movie? When I saw Cassie, I wanted to cry. I got started reading Young Avengers, and I know that Cassie's back, but I wanted to cry. And throughout every single one of her scenes, Cassie, when you meet Iron Man and there's something going on between him and Captain America, don't side with anybody. Don't put your friends in danger, please. Civil War, anyone? And I like Cassie in this movie. Like, oh, it's so ugly. I love it. I love how she is not one of those. She's even a little sassy. Like, I hope you don't catch my dad. And also her mom and her stepdad. I knew I was gonna hate them right out the gate because I have always hated Maggie. I have always hated her cop husband because they always bag on Scott. They always do. Even in the comic books, it's worse than that. To the point where the stepdad actually has hit Cassie before. And also, Maggie is always a wet blanket. Whenever Scott is with their daughter. It's like she's always worried he's going to be a bad influence on Cassie. I have always hated those two. I have always hated Maggie and her boyfriend, or I keep forgetting his name. I just call him the jerky cop. But I'm happy that they calmed down, after saving Cassie's life, of course. I mean, you better let him go and not chase after him and, wipe all charges and stuff and clean him out. I'm happy with that. And I'm also so happy that they kept the ant as a dog. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I love Cassie even more. She's not scared of the ant, the giant ant. She keeps it as a dog. I love this version of Cassie. I really do. She's adorable. And the whole thing with Hank Pym and Hope, it drags a little bit, but you completely understand and sympathize. And the moment they mentioned the regulator, you knew that was going to be a big part in it. You knew that was going to be a crucial element because there are dangers, obviously, with shrinking. And I liked how they included the whole, if the shrinking isn't done right, it could turn you into a blob, or you could shrink forever. And the only thing that was going through my mind, maybe it's like that microverse that the Atom in DC kind of went into in order to escape that robot. I keep forgetting the name of the robot. But, Amazo. Yeah, remember that episode from Justice League Unlimited? I was thinking about that scene where the Atom went to a subatomic universe. I wonder if it's the same thing. But no, it's trippy and scary. Like, remember the scene from the first Avengers movie and also from the Iron Man 3, where Tony was getting all those nightmares? Yeah. Imagine, what Scott Lang saw in that miniverse, that's scary and trippy and puts Tony's night terrors to shame, in a way. And again, on Scott Lang's cleverness, with the whole belt making himself bigger with one of the disc things. And also the way he got through the safe. Wow, we have new ways to get past thumbprints now. Although you could have done that with makeup. Oh wait, forgot, this is an old man's house. But yeah, he's really clever. He just wants to make things better for his daughter. It's a story of redemption. Yeah, this is pretty much to Scott Lang's character. So even if you can't accept the fact that it's not the same kind of origin story, it has to be Hank Pym. It has to be him. Like, how are you going to do that? Like, right away and just be his mentor? And guys, and even though, yeah, Hank Pym was one of the actually, I could be getting that wrong. Actually, yes. Even though Hank Pym and the Wasp, yes, they were one of the founding members of the Avengers. But still, we established that they were the Wasp and the Atom before. We at the very least established that. And we're still going to get Ant-Man, and we're still going to get Wasp, but just in a different order. I mean, yeah, some of you could be hard-pressed, but it's not like they weren't taking this movie seriously. It's not like they didn't respect it at all or didn't do their research. I mean, the whole joke with Tales to Astonish. Oh my gosh, that was the comic in which Ant-Man first appeared in all those years ago, decades ago. So it just shows that they really do, they did their research and they do care about this movie. And if you can't like the movie just because it's not 100% accurate to Hank Pym's story to a T, and that it's not centered around Hank Pym, even though it's not centered around Hank Pym, he's still a good mentor, a sassy mentor, but at least not a jerky mentor. And Scott Lang is still a very likable character and a very sympathetic character. Hope also too. Yeah, she's kind of the classic, oh Dad, just stop holding me back, you know I can do so much more, but at least it's not too over the top, although for some reason I felt like she was Black Widow version 2.0 because she kind of does the same moves. Kind of give these girls new fighting style moves. Oh, and the fighting, the way Ant-Man fights, shrinking and then sometimes he would just shrink and then hit you from that size and then just accelerate his size and then hit you. That is how Ant-Man fights. And it is glorious to see that. Yes! Don't ignore the insanity. Shrink, grow, and then punch. Yes. Don't ignore the insanity. So, overall, that's all I have to say. It wasn't amazing, super amazing, but still entertaining and still embrace the craziness of comic books. Oh, yes, one more. The training montage, even though it was kind of dragging, still bursting through the ground 3 times. Yes! And all of the ants look so cool. The CGI was great on them. And he calls the ant Anthony. But then I wish we had a deeper connection with Anthony, though. Kind of like how in Jurassic Park we got a little bit more invested in the raptors. Oh, but yes, I love the ants. The ants are my favorite part of this movie, really. Next to Scott Lang, and that's saying a lot. The ants are my favorite part because they look so awesome. The things that he gets them to do, or the things that he can have them do together as a team, very creative and awesome. I mean, it's not like my favorite, but it still impresses me with so much wonder, and I think I should be reviewing the Ant-Man comics sometime soon. I think we're up to like 5 issues. Marvel, you've done it again with another origin story. Yes! And hopefully we will see Ant-Man alongside the other Avengers real soon. And also Wasp! Yes! Wasp! And of course, you have to stay for the end credits. You have to stay for the end credits. I know that's going to play into, like, Civil War somehow. But yes, you have to stay for the end credits. You have to stay for the end credits. You have to stay. I keep seeing people in the theater. Guys, it's a Marvel movie. Seriously? You're going to leave? Like, learn, people. Don't leave. It's a Marvel movie. Stay for the credits. Even for Big Hero 6. You stay for that. Don't go. It's a Marvel movie. Don't go yet and watch the end credits, you dang it. So yeah, I would recommend this movie. It's not like super fantastic, but it doesn't disappoint. It does a decent job as an origin story. Scott Lang's sympathetic, great special effects, great fighting. The story drags a little bit here and there, but it still grasps your attention with a good character. The characters are very well developed, save for the villains. Oh my gosh, Hydra was still alive. But yeah, it's a really good movie. It's a good movie, at least, you know? And if you can't get over the fact that it's not 100% Hank Pym, let it go. It's a good movie. Let it go. And it was well performed, well acted, great special effects, great action. Could do better with the pacing. Good origin story for a superhero. And embrace the insanity that is superhero comics with giant keychain tanks and Thomas the Tank engines and giant ants. Embrace the insanity! But yeah, that's all. That's pretty much all my thoughts so far on Ant-Man, unless something comes up and I then again prolong the ending of this video. Alright guys, that's all the time I have. Please comment, please subscribe, tell me what you thought of the video. Let's discuss it, and I will see you.